32 chapter is the heart of Tanya. Its central theme being the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael. So this chapter is dedicated to Avas Yisrael, and that's why it's Lev, heart, 32. Love of one's fellow Jew. Indeed, a central theme in all of Torah. In the previous chapter, the Alter Rebbe advised to one who is bitterly remorseful of the lowliness of one's body and animal soul, body and animal-like soul, is the meditation that notwithstanding that state, one possesses a divine soul, which is literally a part of God. By focusing on liberating that spirit within and the joy in one's godly connection, one can rise above all sadness and celebrate one's connection with Hashem. Now we will discover how taking that transcendent approach is also the key to truly achieving Avos Yisrael, love of one's fellow Jew. Where one is focused on the commonality of the soul's connection, or the soul connection above the divisiveness of body-related causes, the unity and oneness that results is indeed all of Torah, the rest being commentary. It's a famous statement of Hillel that the rest, the most important is Avos Yisrael, the rest is commentary. When one realizes that it is not the physical body that is most important, that's the key to Avos Yisrael. In order to love your fellow Jew, you have to understand that your physical body is not the most important. Rather, it is the spirit. One can easily achieve a love for his, her fellow Jew. When you are able to put your needs, to put your body aside, then you can have Avos Yisrael. Before this, it's not possible.
Besides your health, you have to take care of your health.
No, I'm not talking about neglecting your health. We're talking about if your needs are on such high priority, and your physical body are in such a high priority, you can't really achieve Avos Yisrael, because it's you and you and you. There's no room for anyone else, because your needs are they're so precious to you, they're so dear to you. They can't have any room for anyone else. And that's what we're going to see in this chapter, this theme. In the previous chapter, the Alter Rebbe taught that when one is bitterly remorseful over his sorry spiritual state, he must strive for joy by considering the following. True, on account of his body and his animal soul, he is utterly remote from godliness. Yet, he has within him a divine soul, veritably a part of God. The soul in exile within the body and the animal soul, it is so greatly pitied. One should therefore strive constantly to release it from exile and to return it to its divine source. Through engaging in the Torah and mitzvahs, such a return will bring one great joy, the joy of freedom, the knowledge that the body and the animal soul remain in their unfortunate state should not disturb one's joy on account of his divine soul. Meaning the fact that you're stuck in a physical body that only wants physical things should not disturb the joy that you should have, that your soul can be freed at the time of learning, at the time of davening. And your soul is part of God. For the soul should be infinitely more precious in one's eyes. So we said before that the body should not have your physical body, your physical needs should not have the highest priority. So what should have the highest priority? Your soul, your spirit. Acting on the advice mentioned above, to view one's body with scorn and contempt, and to find joy in the joy of the soul alone, to find joy in the fact that you have a neshama that is godly. Is a direct and easy path toward fulfilling the mitzvah, you shall love your fellow as yourself, with regard to every Jew, both great and small, in spiritual stature. So if your body is nivza v'nimas be'enov, meaning if your body is scorn and contempt, to view one's body with scorn and contempt, then you can truly, and you have, the only joy that you have is the joy of the soul alone, you can come derech yeshova v'kalo. This is easy path and forward path to fulfill the mitzvah of Avos Yisrael. And michlal heina to shema alav. From the positive you can learn about the negative. If your body is not contemptible, if your body you're not considering it lowly, and you're giving it the highest priority, you can't get to Avos Yisrael. How can you love someone else? You're so focused on yourself. There's no room for anybody else. כי מאחר שגוף הנימס ומטוב אצלו והנפש והרוח מי יודע גדולוס ומעלוסון בשורשו מקום בלקים חיים, since his body is despised and loathsome, he will not love himself on account of his body more than he loves his fellow. If your body is despicable, obviously you're going to love someone else more than your own body, because who's the body? He has a spirit, he has a neshama, I should love him. And as for the soul and spirit, the differences between his own soul and that of his fellow surely will not diminish the love between them, for who can know their greatness and excellence in their source and root, the living God? Who can really know, who can really tell how great is your neshama? What level your neshama is? No one can tell. You know the neshama is great, you know the neshama is part of God. But nobody really know the greatness of your true greatness of the neshama. How then can one claim that his soul is superior to his fellows? I don't know, maybe your soul is much greater than my soul. So why am I loving myself more than I love you? I don't know the greatness of your soul. Maybe your soul is the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu. Nobody knows. Furthermore, they are actually all equal. And not only equal, yet separate, but furthermore, they all have one Father, one source, and within their source, they all comprise one entity. It is on account of this common root in the one God that all Israel are called brothers, in the full sense of the word. Self-love is innate, natural to men. To love yourself is natural. Love for one's fellow is not. How can a generated love match a natural love? Okay, through the contemplation we got to love another person. But how can it be compared to the love that I have to myself? The Torah tells me, like you love yourself, but loving myself is natural to me. Loving someone else is not natural. So how does the Torah expect me to love someone else like I love myself? According to the principles stated here, this is readily understood. One Jew need not create a love for another. So I don't need to create love for someone else. The love is an inborn characteristic of a soul, meaning the DNA, the psyche of your soul already has love for someone else. Why? Because they are achim, because they are really one in their source. On account of its root in godliness, which is the common to all souls. It is as